elements of the traditional Indian Vedic wedding today. One of them you'll see. I'll just give you a preview of what's going to happen so you'll know what's happening, even though I'll explain it as I go along. Anything? And that is that first the groom makes an entrance. And if any of you have been to some Indian weddings, there's a big production when the groom arrives, comes in on a horse. Today we're settling for a Toyota because we couldn't get a permit for the horse. And the bridegroom will come in through that door, and he'll be greeted by the bride's family who will welcome him and offer him this, what is called Charnamrita. It's some sacred water that comes every day because we do a special worship ceremony here. And he'll take that as a welcoming. And she'll also offer him a lamp. This is a traditional way when a guest comes to your home, you're supposed to offer some worship. This is the traditional Vedic culture. Even if a stranger comes to your house, you're supposed to give all welcome to that person. So the groom will come in, and what to speak of a stranger, he's going to be part of the family, so he'll be welcomed by the bride's family as he comes in. He'll offer obeisances. Now you'll see this obeisances take place in this temple. It's bowing the head before the various superiors and deities that we have here. And the groom will bow before our founder Acharya. He's sitting at back. His image is there. He's the founder Acharya A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who started the ISKCON movement. He came to America at an advanced age and began this Hare Krishna movement. And he's the head of our organization. He left this world in 1977, but the same mood and method and protocol that he set up is still followed in all the temples, and he is kept at the center of the institution. And then the groom will come in and offer obeisances to the deities that you see before you here. So this is a form of worship that has been going on for millions of years and is prescribed in the Vedic literatures, which have sometimes, yes, the Upanishads are considered to be millions of years old. Before they were in writing, they were passed down by oral tradition. And the Vedas were recently written down within the last 5,000 years in the Sanskrit language, which is among the most sophisticated languages in the world, if not the most sophisticated language in the world. And the Vedic mantras are very beautiful mantras which offer prayers to the divine source of everything. And so this form of worship has been going on for millions of years. Also, this kind of deity worship you'll see all over India in large temples, where the image of the Supreme is kept on the altar and on regular schedule every day. Everything has to be on time. Everything's presented to the deity as one would worship a king. And after he offers obeisances, he'll sit down in one of these chairs, and then we'll give him an opportunity to escape if he so desires. But if he does, he has to become a monk. So we have some insurance today. His future father-in-law is going to be there to make sure. I don't know if he'll have a stick, but he'll be very careful to make sure that he doesn't escape. We have a few big guys outside, too, to tackle him if he tries to get away. Is that good, kids? Yeah, good? Okay. So after that, then the big event happens, and that is the appearance of the bride. So with great fanfare, the bride will come in through that door and be greeted, and there'll be conch shells blowing. So the conch is considered to be an auspicious implement in Vedic sacrifice, and the sound of the conch is said to be purifying. So there'll be conches, bells, music when the bride comes in, and there'll be bridesmaids holding up a cloth so that she and her soon-to-be husband cannot see each other. Now, this dates back to a time when there were arranged marriages, and actually the bride and bridegroom didn't see each other until the very second that they were about to be married. So this is a part of the traditional system. Then we'll have a little fun. We're going to hold up the veil before them, and each one of them will be holding flower petals. And I'll drop the veil at an unannounced time, and they'll try to pelt one another with these soft flower petals, hopefully. And whoever is able to touch the other one first, a very scientific understanding we've come up with, will be the more dominant one in the relationship. So, of course, there'll be no angst or competition in this flower toss. Just after that, the father of the bride will give a talk. And just after that, we're going to have what's called panigrahana, which means, grahana means to tie together, and then pouring of water, which is a way of sealing the marriage. So the hands of the bride and the bridegroom will be tied together with a flower garland. And this indicates the coming together of the two families. And then pouring water from a water pot seals the deal. In Vedic culture, it's the signing of the contract. And then there will be an exchange of garlands. And there are many different kinds of weddings in Vedic India. One of them is called the Gandharva wedding. And all that's required is an exchange of flower garlands and you're off. So we have this element within the exchange of flower garlands. And then the very traditional, which many of us are used to here. And I see we have the ring bearer right here. Why don't you stand up and give us a bow? Look at this. The bride and bridegroom will then make their vows to one another that they've written from their hearts. And just after that, we will sit back down again, and then what we call tying the knot. This is another traditional part. The cloth of the bride and bridegroom will then, now married couple, will be tied together. So this is a very interesting process. Once they're tied together, it means they have to walk in lockstep in life, cooperating at all turns to accomplish their mission in life, which we'll talk about a little bit. What is the purpose of Vedic marriage and so forth. And then we'll have another talk by one of the senior most devotees, a woman who's come here all the way from North Carolina to observe the wedding, who is an old friend of the bride. And she'll give a talk, and then there will be the placing of kumkum. Does anybody know what kumkum is? It's a red powder, and if you get it on you, you never get it off. But you'll notice that Hindu women, they'll put in the part of their hair this red substance, this powder, is called kumkum. It represents Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. It's also known as, when a woman is wearing that, it means she's married, so sometimes it's called the Hindu stop sign. So that is applied with the ring, the wedding ring from the husband, and then there'll be several other senior married women who will come by and also apply the kumkum to her part and give blessings for a successful marriage. Just after that, we're going to have a traditional Vedic sacrifice. First of all, we'll sing some prayers. I mentioned the beauty of the Sanskrit language. You'll be able to hear that for yourself. We'll pass out a few sheets for those who'd like to follow along and sing the Sanskrit. We have it phoneticized so you can look at it, read it. Otherwise, you can just listen to the vibration and appreciate it. It's an ancient hymn that is said to be sung at the beginning of creation. And we'll hear that. It's always a favorite. It kind of sticks with you. So if you don't want a Vedic hymn to stick in your mind, then cover your ears during this part. It'll only last about 10 or 15 minutes. And just after that, we will have this Vedic fire. So this has been going on in Vedic culture for millennia, that the one way to propitiate the Supreme Lord is by offering grains and ghee and other valuables into the fire, which is accepted as a representation of the Supreme Lord is coming into the world, and we offer our sacrifice in that way. In this age, practically, the fire sacrifice is no longer performed in grand scale, although the remnants of it do exist all over the world. In India, South India especially, you'll see fire sacrifices. And within our organization, we still do fire sacrifices for various kinds of ritual performances. I even recently, when in Japan, saw a very elaborate fire sacrifice, which is exactly the same as what we do here, performed in one of the Shinto temples in Japan with great ritual pomp and circumstance. So that sacrifice then is something that the married couple will participate in by offering grains into the fire with the utterance of swaha. Everyone please say swaha. Swaha. So swaha means we're offering into the fire. Really, we're supposed to give ourselves, body and soul, as a representative. We're offering the grains into the fire. Just after that, the couple will stand up. After the fire sacrifice is done, they'll circumambulate the fire, and then they will have the final ritual, which is called the 7 vows. And the married couple will hold hands over here, and the bride will put her right foot, there'll be 7 circles on the ground here, which we'll draw with the right pace. And she'll put her right foot in the first circle, and they'll say their 7 vows as they step one after another in these 7 circles. The bride will put her right foot in, and they'll say aloud these 7 vows. And just after that, we'll ask everyone in the audience to take some flower petals in their hands, and we'll pronounce them husband and wife, and then we can shower them with flower petals. They'll exit through this door, and they'll be in the lobby, and everyone here who wants to go by and give them some good wishes and to congratulate them can go through this door and then walk past them and then come back in this door. So we'll have a circle going on. And that, in summary, is what we're doing today. And I thought by the time I finished that, we'd hear something that the bride isn't here. We're very much used to the brides being late. It's become almost part of the tradition of the wedding ceremony. But we're very glad that everyone's come here today. It's always amazing to me how important weddings are because they bring us together. Disparate families, cultures from all over the world, everyone comes together for weddings because everyone recognizes the importance of them and just in general in human society. Something that is very foundational. And the good wishes of those who come and participate in this are very important. There is a powerful vibration that comes from the heart of each one of the participants when they come to these marriage ceremonies that adds to the overall auspicity of the event. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. And now we have more music. Names of the musicians. Okay, the musicians today are Sanjaya and Catamayi. Dasi are musicians throughout the day today. Yeah, let's hear it from the camera.
Shri Radha Gopi Vallabha ki.
She's offering a lamp out of respect, and that is sandalwood paste she's placing on his head. Also, a ceremonial welcome, as well as flowers. And he's being followed by the chanting party.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Now that the bridegroom has entered and taken his seat, we're in this ceremony obliged to tell him about a loophole which is available, and that is that this is the only time provided in the scripture for him to make an escape if he'd like to. Now that was nerve-wracking because he just changed seats. I thought he was trying to get away. Say, Hemant, if you would like to go away and become a monk at this point, head for the Himalayas. We have a pathway for you out the door. What's your choice? Oh. It looks like he didn't get far. His future father-in-law was there to hold him back. So I think that we're in for a good marriage ceremony. What do you say? Yay! Good work, good work. And now we're just getting ready to greet the bride. She'll be coming in through the same door, but there'll be a lot more noise when she comes in with conch shells and bells, and everyone get ready to cheer. Are you all ready? Hare Krishna. Now, as promised, we are going to conduct a scientific experiment. Would you please give flower petals to both the bride and the bridegroom? And flower petals, nothing heavier, please. And in this ceremony, each one will hold delicately in their hands some soft flower petals. And when I drop the veil, after chanting a mantra, they will lovingly throw petals at one another. And we do have instant replay. Om Maravo Maravo Vachi Maravo Maravo Ridi Smaranti Saravak Sarve Savakareshu bride to give us a few words, please.
Hare Krishna.
Asura Kula Nashana.
So we're welcoming Hemant. We're so happy to welcome you into our family. You're coming from a nice Vaishnava family, and you're having such good and strong moral character. And now you must follow the four regulative principles and daily chant the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And in this way, always keep Krishna in the center of your life and serving the Vaishnavas. And in this way, it will keep you strong in your Krishna consciousness so that you will be able to protect your new wife, Sankirtana Devi. Jai, Hare Krishna.
And now, for the next part of our ceremony, we have the Pani Grahana, which is a ceremony, as I mentioned to you before, where we will tie together the hands of the bride and the bridegroom, and they will also be greeted by two sides of the family, and we'll recognize the coming together of this beautiful couple. And it's not just the coming together of the couple, but an entire set of families that will now be in harmony. So if you'll stand up over here. And you'll notice that they're putting their right hands together. And now we have a flower bearer coming forward with a special flower garland to tie their hands together, indicating this union which is meant for a divine cause and in harmony with all the principles of the Vedic scriptures. Now the two families are symbolically placing hands above and below, recognizing the coming together of this couple. Om Swasino Gomino Swasino Chuntananto Swasino Vasudeva Vishnudarato Swasino Narayano Narovai Swasina Padmanabha Purushottam Tarato Om Tat Sat. And with those words, we recognize the union of Hemant and Sankirtana Devi Dasi. You can untie their hands. Please give them a round of applause. And now we'll have exchange of garlands. There's a lot of beautiful flowers in this ceremony. Now we have an outstanding ring bearer. He's around here somewhere. He was a very handsome kid. There he is. That's a prerequisite. We meant to do that. It's part of the ceremony.
My dear Sankirtan, I was waiting for this day since long time, and finally Krishna has sent you as my soulmate. And this is a wonderful day I was waiting for in my life. And I'm looking forward to grow with you in my spiritual life with the blessing of all the Vaishnavas to serve Krishna in my life with you. Thanks for making my life wonderful and coming into my life. Haribol.
My dear Hemant, I thought Krishna would never send you, but then he saved, I feel that he saved you just for me. And I can't imagine being with anyone else. And I really appreciate how you're always very caring and take care of all those around you. I was very impressed yesterday when you were playing with my best friend's children. And upon the first day meeting you, Venu said, Hemant's my favorite person. He's just cool. I said, oh really? What's cool about him? He said, everything. He's just cool. So I really love how you're so wonderful with children, and I'm very happy to be your wife.
And now the couple will sit down, but we'll notice that they're changing places. So this is one of the rituals that now the bride will be on the opposite side, and she's closer to his heart. You can move those, Tulsi. And now we have a special tying of the knot, symbolizing how important it is to work together in married life, seeing the other's interests as one's own. So the special cloth is being attached to both of them. And will not be untied for several weeks. So you have to go everywhere together. Now we ask Krishna Priya, who is a senior member of our spiritual community, who's come all the way from North Carolina, has known the bride for many, many years, great well-wisher, come all the way here for the wedding to say a few words for all of us.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatara Shatarine. So by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and all the Vaishnavas, we are gathered here today on this most auspicious occasion. As Prabhu said, I've known Sankirtan since her childhood days, and I'm very grateful to have this opportunity to speak. And I would also like to give blessings to her on behalf of His Holiness Bir Krishna Das Goswami, who is her Diksha Guru, and not able to be here with her today because he has programs in Europe this time of year. And I'd also like to send blessings from all the devotees in North Carolina that weren't able to attend. And I would like to also let you know that Shishi Radha Golokananda are here, present in Radha Gopi Balababa on the temple. So you have the blessings of the deities. And I'm very honored to have the position now of being Hemant's grandmother. This is somehow or other I become the grandmother always. And I'm representing his wonderful family because they see in America the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So his parents are Jagadish Chandra Vyas and Hema Mukam Vyas. And I'm sure they're very wonderful, wonderful people. And we send our love to them. So my request to both of you is that you focus your Grihastha life on pleasing Krishna and pleasing the Vaishnavas, and that your home is a temple of the Lord, and your door is open for others to come to take Krishna Prasadam, to chant the holy name. And I have experienced such beautiful hospitality just on my few days here. So I'm letting you also both know that I am always here for you and very, very thankful to be a part of your beautiful family. Hare Krishna.
Now we have the ceremony of placing kumkum, which is the representative of the goddess of fortune who brings good fortune to the family. And Hemant will place this kumkum using his ring. He'll place the powder on the part of Sankirtana Dasi's hair. Now, as the tradition, several married women are also giving their blessings by placing kumkum. Sutra means thread or necklace. And now, with permission of Hemant and Sankirtana Dasi, I'm going to sit down and conduct the fire ceremony. That was a mantra to worship the seat and to appreciate the earth for allowing us a place to sit. And before we begin this ceremony, we're going to perform a rite of purification by touching water and mantra. This is called Achmana. So I'll say a mantra and everyone can please repeat. And then the three of us who are sitting here before the fire will perform this Achman. Om Apavitra Pavitrova Sarvavastan Gatopiva Yasmare Pundarikaksham Sababhya Abhyantara Shuchihi Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. Please place with your left hand, put the water in your right palm. Om Keshavaya Namaha. Om Narayanaye Namaha. Om Madhavaya Namaha. Again, Om Apavitra Pavitrova Sarvavastan Gatopiva Yasmare Pundarikaksham Sababhya Abhyantara Shuchi Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. Om Keshavaya Namaha. Again. Om Narayanaye Namaha. Om Madhavaya Namaha. Om Apavitra Pavitrova Sarvavastan Gatopiva Yasmare Pundarikaksham Sababhya Abhyantara Shuchihi Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. Om Keshavaya Namaha. Om Narayanaye Namaha. Om Madhavaya Namaha. So that mantra means that whatever condition of life one's in now, whether pure or impure, if one remembers the lotus-eyed Supreme Personality of Godhead, one becomes purified inwardly and outwardly. So the Vedas have many rules and regulations, do's and do-nots. And they all culminate in two rules. One is always remember Krishna, spelled A-R-K, ARK. And the other is never forget Krishna, So the first one is? Yeah, always remember Krishna. Second is? Yes, if you do these two things, then life becomes successful at every step. And now, as I promised, we're going to sing an ancient hymn that was sung by Brahma, the first created being, according to the Vedic literature, at the beginning of creation. It's in Sanskrit, but we've phoneticized it, so it's at least possible to follow. And if you can't follow, don't worry, just take in the vibration. There is a refrain at the end that is very beautiful, and you'll probably catch the refrain and be able to do it as best as possible. So I'll lead the way, and then we'll go all the way through to the last part, and then we'll conduct the ceremony. Ishvaraha Parama Krishna Sakchirananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Chintamani Prakada Sadma Sukalpa Vriksha Laksha Vriteshu Surabira Vipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Sevyamanam Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Venum Klarantam Baravindam Dalayataksham Bharavatam Samasitam Burasundarangam Gandharpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Alola Chandra Kalasadvana Malya Vamshi Radnangadam Pranaya Keli Kalavilasham Shamam Tribangalalitam Niyata Prakasham Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasya Sakalendriya Vrittimanti Pashyanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadujvala Vigrahasya Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayauvanam Sha Vedeshu Dulamama Dulamama Bhaktau Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Pantastu Koti Shatavatsara Sampragamyo Vayoratapi Maraso Muni Pungavanam Sopyasti Apraparasimdya Vichintya Tatve Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ekopya Saura Charitum Jagadanda Kotim Yat Shakti Rasti Jagadanda Chaya Yadantaha Andantarasta Paramanu Chayantarastam Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yad Bhava Bhavi Tariyo Manujasta Taiva Samprapya Rupa Mahima Shayanana Bhusha Suktaryameva Nigama Pratitaistu Vanti Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratipaktabis Tabirya Eva Nujarupa Tayakalabi Goloke Eva Nivasatya Kilatma Bhuto Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santak Sadeva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achincha Gunaswarupam Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ramari Muti Shikalani Amena Tishtan Nanavatar Makarod Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samababat Paramapumanyo Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagadanda Koti Koti Shoshesha Vasudari Vibhuti Binam Tadbrahma Nishkalamanantamashesha Bhutam Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Maya Hiyasya Jagadanda Shatani Sute Traigunya Tadvishaya Veda Vitayamana Sadvavalambi Parasatvam Vishuddha Sattvam Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmayara Satmataya Manasu Yapraninam Pratipalam Smarutam Upetya Lilayatena Bhuvanani Jayatya Jastram Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Golokanamni Nijadam Nitaleta Tasya Devi Mahesha Haridama Suteshu Teshu Te Prabhava Nichaya Vihitascha Yena Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Shristi Stiti Pralaya Sarana Shakti Reka Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Vibharti Durga Ichchanu Rupam Api Yasya Tateshta Tesa Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Shiram Yatada Dirvikara Vishesha Yogad Sanjayate Nahitata Prakrakasti Heto Yashambhutam Apitata Samupaiti Karyad Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Deeparchadeva Hidashantaramabhyapetya Deepayate Vrivate Susamana Dharma Yastadrageva Hicha Vishnu Chaya Vipati Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yakarnarna Bhajale Bhajati Sma Yoga Nidramananta Jagadanda Saroma Kupaha Adhara Shaktim Avalamya Param Samurtim Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yashaika Nishvasita Kalamata Valambya Jivanti Loma Vilaja Jagadandanata Vishnor Mahansa Iha Yasha Kala Vishesho Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Basvanyatasma Sakaleshu Nijeshu Teja Swiyam Kiya Prakatayatta Vitadvadatra Brahmaya Esha Jagadanda Vidhana Karta Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yadpada Pallava Yugam Vinidaya Kumbha Vande Pranama Samaye Sakanadi Rajaha Vignan Vidhantum Alamasya Jagatrayasya Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Agnir Mahi Gangaramam Murudishasya Kalastatadma Manasiti Jagatrayani Yasmad Bhavanti Vibhavanti Vishanti Yamcha Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yachchakshuresha Savita Sakalagrahanam Raja Samasta Suramuti Rashesha Tejaha Yasyagnaya Brahmati Sambratakala Chakro Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Dharmo Tapapa Nichaya Shutayastapamsi Pramarikita Patagavadayascha Jivaha Yadatra Matra Vibhava Prakata Prabhava Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yastvindra Gopamata Vendra Mohosa Karma Bandhanu Rupa Palabhajana Matanoti Karmani Nirdahati Kintu Bhakti Bhajam Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yam Krodha Kama Sahaja Pranayari Piti Vatsalya Moha Guru Gaurava Sevya Bhavai Sanchintya Tassa Sadrashim Taramapurete Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamari Purusham tamaham bhajami. Sriya kanta kanta parama purusha kalpataravo. Druma bhumischintamani ganamayi toyamamritam. Kataganam natyam gamanamapi vamshi priyasaki. Chiranandam jyoti paramapi taraswadyam apicha. Sayatra shirabhi sravati surabhi bhyashya sumahan. Nimeshardhyakyo va vratati nahi atrapi samayaha. Bhaje shweta dvipam tamaham iha golokamitiyam. Vidantaste shantakshiti viralachara katipaye. Ishvaraha parama Krishna sakchirananda vigraha. Anadiradir govinda sarvakarana karanam. Sri Brahma Sangita Sampurnam Hari Om. You won't need your grains yet. Just a few minutes. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. This mantra is from the Vedas. Before giving any kind of talk, it's traditional to offer obeisances to one's preceptor, to the teacher who has given one knowledge. And this particular verse says that I was born into ignorance, into darkness. I didn't know where I came from and I didn't know where I was going. But by meeting my spiritual master, who gave me the light of wisdom through the Vedic scriptures and the teachings that come down from one great teacher to the next, through the line of disciples we call the parampara, or disciplic succession, one after the other, passing intact, just like a mango from the top of a tree, carefully from one hand to the next. This self-effulgent knowledge, which gives one a clear understanding of the mission of life. And I always like to see, from my own experience, having been married to my wife, Nirakula, who's around here somewhere, back there, that's the door. Hare Krishna. I joined the Krishna consciousness movement when I was 16, and I remained a brahmachari until I was 29. Brahmachari means celibate monk life. And then I decided to get married because it was then or not at all. And I took the wisdom of my elders and thought it was a good idea. And it was. It was a very good idea. And also, I spent, so that means the last 30 years, correct? Just checking. In what some of you might have heard the devotees speak about grahastha ashram. So just to unpack some of the language, graha means a house. Some monks live in the forest or they live in an ashrama, which is interesting also. You've all heard of the word ashrama. So the word shrama in Sanskrit means hard labor for no result. It means to work very hard with just enough money left over to buy your wardrobe and gasoline so you can do it again next year. Or as they say, job means just over broke. And ashrama means a place. When you put an A, an akar, in front of a word in Sanskrit, it many times reverses its meaning. So the word ashrama means a place where this unnecessary hard labor is not going on. It's a place where you actually can find the essence of life, where you've defined the essence of life, and you're working towards it. And the grahastha ashrama is it's a house or an apartment or whatever you may have, a palace. It doesn't matter, but you're living together and you're working in an environment where you're actually making progress towards something. And the whole idea of progress is talked about in the Vedic scriptures, that the main aspect of progress takes place on the spiritual, in the spiritual realm. That is, we are actually spiritual beings, but we're temporarily inhabiting these biological robots. They are robotic and they are biological, and we do eat bio food. in order to make them run. But we're not biological. We are actually categorically different, according to the Bhagavad Gita, in which Krishna says, Bhumirapon analo vayu kammano buddha evacha ahankara itiyame bina prakriti rashtra. He names all the elements that are material. He says earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and ego. It's gross and subtle elements. And then he said there's an energy in this world that's categorically different. Apariyamitas sanyam prakritim vidime param jiva bhuta mahabaho yayedam daryate jagat. Besides this lower energy, he said, there's a superior energy of the soul, the living entity, that conscious being. And consciousness is categorically different from matter. It's a superior energy. It comes from God. So does everything else. But there are gradations of energy. And this is the highest grade of energy in the material world. And so living inside a house, which we call the grahastha ashram, a house which is meant for progress on the spiritual platform, means that you have a union where you can work together for that. And of course, there's also the status quo to maintain, because there's bills to pay, if I'm not mistaken. Just making sure it's not just me. And there are all kinds of other obligations that one must fulfill. So these two things go on very nicely on parallel lines. That is, that one can work for one's material necessities. There's a way in which one has to have these things in order to remain sane and healthy and comfortable. There's also a necessity to have a social life, because we're social beings. And at the same time, simultaneously, and not mutually distinct from one another, there's the way in which we work for spiritual advancement. So this coming together for this ashrama is a valid way to maintain the status quo in society and help the society at large by being a productive unit, and at the same time advance spiritually, so that you can fulfill the ultimate purpose of life, which was described in the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam by Shukadeva Goswami when he said, Ante Narayana Shmiti. That means when you exit this world, you can remember God very clearly. He's in your heart. He's in your feelings. And this is the process of bhakti, the way in which we develop that deep feeling for the Supreme Personality of God and Krishna within our hearts. And that can take place within the context of a home. My good friend Satyadev Prabhu, who's been married much longer than me, often likes to say, your mate is your mirror. And that's a very powerful way to remember that however I'm interacting with my better half, with my significant other, with my mate, it reflects on the state of my heart. What's in my heart? How much have I learned to actually show compassion, not just to people here, there, and everywhere, but at home, to be tolerant. And that requires living with another person, requires some tolerance sometimes, because everyone's an individual. And everyone has different ways of eating and sleeping and reading and going to bed and so forth. And to be able to harmonize all those things, it takes some endeavor. And in that endeavor, one comes to hone one's own inner fortitude. One develops inner fortitude. And one also learns to control the senses for the sake of supporting another. There's also a principle that my wife and I learned many years ago. Please don't mind, but it's from Stephen Covey, when he pointed out in one of his writings that everyone has a bank account in their heart. And this he calls emotional bank account. And so one has to make regular deposits in that bank account, spouse to spouse. And because at sometimes you'll have to make a withdrawal. Maybe on purpose or accidentally. Can I get a yes or a yes? Any married couples here? Come on, back me up, would you? Yeah. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, things happen. And so if we're very proactive, sorry for the phrase, but proactive, and we try to be thoughtful being thoughtful and putting ourselves out to support the other one, even when it's not an absolute necessity at the very moment. We go out of our way, even for the small things. That makes a deposit. And at times when we're in a hurry or we maybe lose our temper or something like that, that's a withdrawal. So you have to make sure you don't get overdrawn. That's a great project in life. And I found in the Grihastha ashrama, there's a way in which you can fulfill all the edicts of the Vedic scriptures, beginning with Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, which means the first step in spiritual life is to control your tongue. Who would have thought that that's how spiritual life begins? In fact, there's a famous verse in one of the scriptures that says, Atashri Krishnamadi nabhaved grayam indriye, sevanmukhi jivado swayameva spratida. Yoga begins with the tongue. And so if you can control the tongue, it says, then not only will all the other senses be controlled, but Krishna will reveal himself to you. So married life is an excellent place to learn to control the tongue, because one becomes familiar after some time, and then things may roll off the tongue, and you can consciously speak rather than say what's coming according to impulse. And that actually is a process of yoga that many yogis would aspire for the result that you get from that kind of a practice in your daily life, controlling the tongue. And also, as Krishna Priya so nicely mentioned, the way in which the Grihastha ashram is mentioned in the Vedic culture as an opportunity to do service for other living entities. The feeling is parental, that all other kinds of living entities around us are our children, and we should take care of them, people and animals. In fact, it's so beautiful. In South India, you'll notice people make these beautiful patterns on their porches. And what do they use? They use rice flour, because then the little insects can come and have some little snack on the porch. And there's also a tradition that when you cook in the Grihastha ashram, you must go outside before eating yourself, and you should announce in all the 4 directions, if anybody's hungry, please come and eat. If anybody's hungry, please. In this way, there's a feeling that I'm taking care of others. And in that service mood from the Grihastha ashram, one can develop this sense of compassion. And this is a foundational part of the whole culture. One of the main reasons that we come together in a matrimony, so that we can be a unit that's not just spiritually progressive, but also materially progressive, because in that material progression, one can then support others who don't have a means of support. And in that kind of giving of oneself, of one's resources, one actually grows and becomes a whole person. It's a holistic kind of growth from the process of marriage. Sounds pretty good, right? So far. So you both have come together for the right purpose. Both of you, I've known Sankirtana Dasi, I've known you for many years now, and a gentler soul, a more compassionate soul, would be hard to find. Yeah. She's very soft-hearted and always thinks about how to do good for others. It's been one of her missions in life. And so I've been drawn to her, and very happily so in this lifetime. And therefore came as no surprise that you met such a prince as Hemant, who you've described, but just in the, yes. And I don't use that word lightly. Everyone I've talked to so far really likes you and finds you to be a very gentle soul. And I've found that I've only known you for about 24 hours now. But I sense something very deep, and I'm very glad that the two of you have come together. To Asura Kulanashana and Shanti, who raised Sankirtana Dasi, I offer my deepest congratulations. You have 2 daughters that have become extremely advanced spiritually, and that's a rare thing to be able to do that together, to raise children that are upstanding citizens in the spiritual community, and have given so much. To your sister Krishna, who has been an exemplary devotee for so many years, and who I see you have so much love for and a bond with. It's very wonderful to see. And from afar, I offer my respects to your parents. Your last name is Vyas. I found that out yesterday. Vyas is actually in Sanskrit means the editor or the divider, but it's also a nickname for one of the great incarnations of God, who's called the literary incarnation, who has presented the Vedas to the world. So in India, when there's a certain name in your family, you can kind of judge what kind of background they come from. So Vyas is a very high name, and my respects to your parents and to your entire dynasty of family. Hare Krishna. Okay, so it's not the most comfortable arrangement, so I'm going to say from the bottom of my heart and move on that Nirkula and she'll speak for herself, and just after the fire yajna, fire sacrifice, that we offer our sincerest congratulations and blessings from the bottom of our heart, that you may have health, wealth, spiritual advancement. You may develop compassion in your lives, cooperate together on an unprecedented level, and may everyone you come in contact with share your good fortune. Om Tat Sat. And now we're going to have the ever popular fire sacrifice. And so we're going to start with a little bit of music until I signal you to stop. And I'm going to be preparing the fire ceremony. And then we'll all participate, because there's some mantras that we can do together. Hare Krishna. Okay. Thanks. Put water in your right hand, so just hold it. Just hold it. Om Tat Sat Shri Govinda 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 Asyam Shubhatito Achyuta Gotra Vaisesika Das. I'm naming the priest. I have to tell who the priest is. Shri Krishna Prityartam Vivaha Samskar. That means this is a wedding ceremony. Karmaha Karishyami, that we're about to perform. Now you can pour the water on the ground. This is the Sankalpa, which means that we're announcing our intention for performing this ceremony today, for this fire sacrifice. That's the purpose, that it's a wedding ceremony. In previous ages, the Brahmanas were so powerful that they could light the fire with mantra. Make no mistake, I cannot do this. Therefore, we have a lighter. You can light the evening. Krishna Vai, Sankirtana. You can chant the Hare Krishna mantra. I'm now offering an artik, or a worship of the fire, with various implements like incense and a lamp.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Yastadrigeva hita Vishnu Chayadinati Govindamari Purusham. Om Swastika. That's worshiping the various directions. Now you can get ready.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
I'll be offering into the fire pure cow's ghee. That's butter that's been clarified, process of purification. Om Bhut Swaha Idam Vishnave Idam Mama. Wait, not yet. Om Bhu Swaha Idam Achutaya Idam Mama. Om Swar Swaha Idam Narayana Idam Namama. Om Bhu Bhuva Swaha Idam Anantaya Idam Namama. now, using these two fingers, like a little deer, you can offer grains after I say swaha. And everyone can follow me by repeating swaha when they also repeat swaha. Maybe I'll start and then you can see if you can pick up my the same key, because I'm not sure I can match that. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militenena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Idam Vaishnave Swaha Idam Namama Swaha. Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Stapitam Dena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadahmayam Dadati Swapadantikam Idam Rupaya Swaha Idam Namama Swaha Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Parakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagradatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvatutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vitamscha Idam Gurubhyo Swaha Idam Namama Swaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bir Krishna Swaminiti Namine Idam Dikshave Gurave Swaha Idam Namama Swaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Idam Prabhupadaya Swaha Idam Namama Swaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varsha Bhavani Devi Taitaya Kripabde Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jvala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhakti Da Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Shri Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudhapas Siddhanta Dvantaharine Namo Bhakti Siddhantaya Swaha Idam Namama Swaha Gorakishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murte Vipralambara Sambode Padambujayate Namaha Idam Gorakishoraya Swaha Idam Namama Swaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sakchirananda Namini Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Idam Bhakti Vinodaya Swaha Idam Namama Swaha Gaura Virvava Bhomestvam Nirdesa Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarva Bhoma Shri Jagannathaya Te Namaha Shri Jagannathaya Swaha Idam Namama Swaha Vangshakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripasindhu K'evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Idam Vaishnavebhyo Swaha Idam Namama Swaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namaha Idam Chaitanya Devaya Swaha Idam Namama Swaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Damami Bhaktashaktikam Idam Chaitanya Devaya Swaha Idam Namama Swaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Sudro Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Idam Krishnaya Swaha Idam Namama Swaha Jayatam Surato Pangur Mama Manda Matergati Matsarva Swapatam Bojao Radha Maranamohano Idam Sambandhi Devaya Swaha Idam Namama Swaha Divya Vrindaranya Kalpa Drumatha Srimad Ratnangara Singhasanasto Srimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Preshtalimi Sevya Manus Parami Idam Abhidedaya Swaha Idam Namama Swaha Shivan Rasa Rasaram Divam Shiva Tatatastita Karshan Venu Swanir Gopir Gopinata Shri Stunaha Idam Prayojana Didevaya Swaha Idam Namama Swaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Idam Radriyai Swaha Idam Namama Swaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Idam Bhakta Vrindaya Swaha Idam Namama Swaha Om Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Swaha Om Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Swaha Om Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Swaha Om Mantrahinam Kriyahinam Bhaktihinam Janardana Sapujitam Maya Devam Paripurjam Chadastu Me Swaha. The last mantra was asking for forgiveness for any mistakes that we made, and there were plenty. Now we have the Purnahuti, which is the final part of the fire ceremony. And in this, the couple will stand up, and they will hold together a banana in their hands. And I will chant the last two mantras, and after I'm completed, we'll say Swaha, and you can offer them into the fire. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Bhutachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate Namo Brahmanya Devaya Gobramanahitaya Cha Jagatitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Swaha Idam Namama. And now we'll have a beautiful, uplifting Hare Krishna Kirtan, and the married couple will now circumambulate the fire 3 times. First 2 times she'll lead, and the last time she'll lead. japa. And now we have one of Sankirtana Dasi's well-wishers, my wife Nirakula Devi Dasi, will say a few words just before they take their final vows in the 7 steps, which are just being drawn on the floor. Over to you, Nirakula Devi Dasi.
Hare Krishna. We're delighted to be here, and we were deeply touched that you asked us to be such a big part of your day today, Sankirtana Dasi. It really meant a lot to us. And to meet your now husband, Hemant, has been a real delight. You've gotten many blessings today, and the blessings will continue to come. You've gotten some advice and some instruction. So you can see that going into the Grihastha ashram comes with a lot of responsibility. But you're a team. So just remember that you're a team. And no matter what you face it together. Communicate, learn to communicate, learn each other's language, your language of love, as they say. And learn to forgive. Because sometimes things come up, sometimes things happen. And they don't usually happen on purpose. It's accidental. But if you learn to communicate well, you'll be able to forgive each other easily. And that's the Vaishnava quality that you want to develop. So, with all my heart, I wish you the very, very best. A long, healthy, happy, Krishna-conscious life. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
And now for the 7 steps. Please, Sankirtana Dasi, place your right foot in the first ring, and don't let your left pass beyond the right. And these are prayers that they wrote together, and they'll be saying together. Please repeat after me. May Krishna bless us to take care of thousands of cows.
May Krishna bless
us to take care of thousands of cows.
Everyone can say Jai afterwards. Jai! Please take your next step and don't let the left pass beyond the right. May Krishna bless us to distribute millions of transcendental books.
May Krishna bless us to distribute millions of transcendental books.
Please take your third step. May Krishna bless us to have the strength to always support each other in Krishna consciousness.
May Krishna bless us to always have the strength to
support each other in Krishna
consciousness.
May Krishna help us to have steadfastness to serve peacefully together for the rest of our lives. May Krishna bless us. May Krishna help us. Repeat.
May Krishna help us
To have steadfastness.
to have steadfastness.
To serve peacefully together.
To serve peacefully together.
For the rest of our lives.
For the rest of our lives.
May Krishna bless us.
May Krishna bless us
To cook sumptuous preparations.
to cook sumptuous preparations
And serve millions of plates of prasadam.
and serve millions of plates of prasadam.
May Krishna bless us to always serve the Vaishnavas.
May Krishna bless us to always serve the Vaishnavas.
Jai! May Krishna bless us to control our tongues and to speak sweetly.
May Krishna bless us to control our tongues and speak sweetly.
Okay. Do we have some more flower petals? If you have flower petals in the house, bring them over. Okay. Excuse me. All of those who approve of this sacred union between Hemant Vyas and Sankirtana Devi Dasi, please note your agreement by together saying Hare Krishna. We'll try it again because that wasn't loud enough. All of those who approve of this sacred union between Hemant and Sankirtana Devi Dasi, please note your agreement by together saying Hare Krishna. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. and Mrs. Hemant Vyas.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
Just now they'll be standing in the lobby. Everyone please can exit this door, walk through the hall, and you can give your congratulations and then come back in. It's a circle.
Okay. Hare
And
Krishna
The
Hare
family members and senior devotees
Krishna
first, please.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Again. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Thank you.